So it's a good idea to read your syllabus for the class. There are some important information here. I do want to just give you an overview of some things about this online version of college algebra. First off, again, my name is Brian Thomas, and I do have an office location on the main campus. It's the Science Building 120. You do have a phone number here of 270-686-3785. That's my office phone. Email is probably the best if you want to contact me, is brian.thomas@kcts.edu. Office hours, I'm pretty flexible, but you can kind of see Mondays, Wednesdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, I'm usually in class from 8 to 9:15. After that, I am fairly available to communicate with you throughout the day, Monday through Friday. The only other thing we have going on is on Mondays and Wednesdays from 2 to 3:15, I do have a class there. So if you need to meet me on campus as well for tutoring, I can help you on campus with tutoring if this online version is kind of hard to follow. Don't forget, there's also the Teaching Learning Center that is also available on campus. We both can do virtual tutoring as well, so keep that in mind. I can do some type of meeting from home, but usually with math, face-to-face is probably more productive. So as far as the catalog course description, I'll let you read that. Required supplies. There is not a required purchase of a textbook. Instead, there is an e-text available in your Blackboard shell. Also, what's important is a TI-84 calculator, and we don't want you to be using a phone app. We want you to be using the actual TI-84 calculator. So again, since it is an online class, you should be fairly good with your technology. You should understand how to be able to navigate within your computer tools. So again, college is driven mainly through email. So you need to be checking your email regularly for college. So again, we have general education competencies, which again, I will let you read through that. This is the most important stuff, so you have to read that more carefully. Course competencies, again, they're present here. This is what's going to be in the course, basically. If you've had Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 and you're taking a pre-calc class, that's basically what Algebra 1 is. It's all three kind of rolled into one. So it's a lot of material put together in one course here at college. So a lot of material, and you have 16 weeks to complete it. So basically, this is going to be the format. Functions is the main thing we'll be talking about. Equations is another main thing we'll be talking about. But there'll be different types of functions and different types of equations. So again, we'll get more into that as we move into the actual class. Something to be paying attention to is the grading criteria. How do you make an A in this class? So this is what you have to have for an A. This is going to be a B. Now, technically, I do round. If it's an 89.5, I do round up to 90%. So those probably should have been fixed. I didn't fix those yet. But technically, 89.5 and above is actually going to be an A. Remember, all homework assignments, if you do them on time, you can get 100% on all homework assignments as long as you're meeting the due dates. Homework is really important. It does count 20% of your grade. So if you're not a great math student, homework can help put you over the top, especially if you get on these borderlines. You know, if you get an 89.4 on your final, well, if I see that you've been doing your homework, then I will probably move that on up to 89.5. So there are some wiggle rooms. There are some gray areas with this. So basically, as far as grading criteria, there's going to be a homework grade, and then there's going to be 4 test grades. So everything is going to be worth 20% of your grade. So it's vital that you complete all of those 5 important grades. Homework, which shows you your perseverance with the class. And then the 4 tests show us how much you've actually obtained in this class. Again, since this is an online class, there is not an attendance policy. Again, there are going to be a lot of videos posted to Blackboard. I am supplying guided notes. So if you purchase the guided notes from the bookstore, and if you put those in a nice little binder, you can stay organized for the class. And you will also be able to use your guided notes on your actual 4 exams, including, which is also, the 4th exam is actually your final. So again, we do have hard and firm due dates, but I do accept late work. So keep that in mind. Homework can be turned in late, but there is a 10% penalty for anything turned in late. So keep that in mind. You can always open up your homework and do it, even if the due date's passed. It would just be considered late. So instead of earning 100%, you can still score 90%. And remember, a 90% is still an A. So keep that in mind. So you can still earn A's on your homework, even if you do get behind a little bit, which I do not recommend in this class. The exams are each, like I said, there's 4 of those. Again, you can retake the exam. So on each exam, there are 2 attempts. But to do the second attempt, the personalized review must be completed, and a score at least 80% has to be scored on that personalized review to open up the second attempt. So Unit 1 and Unit 2 exams can be taken from home, but Unit 3 and Unit 4 exams must be done in person. That's not true because this is an online course, so disregard that. All of your exams will be done at home. I will give you more information about that, about how you go about taking the exams. The final exam will have to have a lockdown browser. I think the first and the 4th exam will have a lockdown browser. So I will kind of fix that on my syllabus. This is for an in-person class. There is a withdrawal policy that you need to read. Emergency course delivery changes. Again, you need to read that. Important dates to pay attention to as far as if this class is not going well, or you just change your mind about the class, make sure you talk to your advisors about that. There's plenty of help to be had, so keep that in mind. There's a lot of help. TRIO is a great support service as well. So if you're a first-time student and nobody in your family's gone to college, you could probably be qualifying for TRIO support services. So you can look into some of these special services on campus as well. Academic support. The library is a main spot here. It's in the LRE building on the main campus. They do have a phone number here. They have what's called the Teaching Learning Center, which provides free tutoring for your classes. And they do have a lot of math instructors over there to help. So feel free to reach out, and you can go to the Teaching Learning Center and get support that way. The Experiential Learning Handshake, I'll let you read through that, but we get that out of the way a little bit. So this is kind of a new thing on campus. So there's a lot of ways to, enhance your college education, and this Experiential Learning Center is a way to enhance and add things onto your resume that allows you to be more employable. Academic integrity, again, this is like what we call the honor system. By taking this class, you are promising us, just like you would with a handshake, that you are going to be doing this class using your own work. As far as that goes, you can get tutoring, you can get help, but as far as things go, especially with tests, you are doing the work without help on the tests. your test. You are allowed to use the guided notes, but you are not allowed to use any external help for the test. Homework, yes, you're encouraged to get tutoring and things like that, but not for the tests. So again, there's the student code. You may want to read into that as well. If you are in need of an accommodation, we do have that ability to, you can advocate yourself for any kind of accommodations that you'd like to have. You just have to check with our college to see how that transpires. So again, we have this discrimination, harassment, and sexual misconduct. So this is all classes as well. So again, this is something you want to read carefully. And if you have been impacted in this way, you are not alone. The college has support systems to help out in discrimination, harassment, or sexual misconduct. SNAP is a way to get alerts on your phone about cancellations due to weather or power outages or just any unexpected events. Water mains break, things like that, and college campuses are closed, or maybe even a certain building closes down that your class is in. So SNAP is a good thing to have, especially with weather alerts. You'll get a firsthand information on that. Lastly, the self-pacing calendar. So the syllabus does have this self-pacing calendar that tells you where you should be each week. You also this will all be broken out in your coursework too, of how the deadlines are and everything like that. So typically, about you have like 4 weeks of lessons and then an exam, except for unit 3, you have like 3 weeks of lessons and then a unit exam for that. So, or actually take that back. It's like 3 weeks and then an exam, and then you have 3 weeks and then an exam. But unit 3, you have 2 weeks and then an exam. There's a quicker turnaround between there. There's not as much material, but it still catches you off guard of how quickly this class goes. Again, it is only a 16-week class. Note though, 3/5 is Sunday. March 6th is when spring break happens here at the campus. So notice that things kind of, you do have a chance to catch your breath here on March 6th. Again, the Teaching Learning Center is a very good tool. If you're kind of behind at that spot, the Teaching Learning Center can be very beneficial in getting you caught back up. Okay, so that's kind of an overview of the syllabus. Please read carefully the syllabus, as you will be held accountable to it. And I apologize, I will update the testing up here, since you are not going to be doing this on site.